unedited live stream that you can watch anytime you want. I am coming to you wearing my recently retired travel agent's hat. I'm recently retired. I've had this YouTube channel for about 10 years where I would post a lot of things, a lot of tutorials and things about creativity and things like that. I'm also a retired art teacher. So I wanted to come to you and as my first post-retirement live stream and talk to you today about today's topic is going to be about Disney World in particular. And I'm going to tell you my story, and I'm also going to tell you what I would do differently as if I went for the first time. So I'm going to jump right in. I'm 60 something, actually 60, but hopefully these videos last a long time and I won't be 60 forever. I'll be plus. I'm 60 something. I'm retired and I became a travel agent well over 20 years ago. I know that because my son's 25 and I took him to Disney World the very first time he was 1, and it was before that. So over 25 years, I guess. And it was really a part-time job, and it was because of Disney that I became a travel agent. So I'm going to tell you my story and then tell you about first time going to Disney World as a young family, and maybe anybody really, like you can be recently retired as well, or a retired person. So my story is I was born in Montreal, Quebec, and I went to Disney World with my family of 5, mom, dad. I'm the oldest, and I have a sister and brother. And we drove down from Montreal in, I believe it was March. And at the time, Disney World was only about 5 years old. And when I arrived and saw it was called Magic Kingdom, I was very disappointed. First of all, because I thought I was going to California. That was the only thing I really knew. I didn't know about really Disney World. I knew about 6 o'clock on Sunday nights, watching the Wonderful World of Disney and the castle and Tinkerbell. And so when it was called the Magic Kingdom, I was very confused, but fell in love with it. And having gone to Disneyland as well in California, I could tell you that Disney World's my special place. So we went there. My father wasn't one to go on a whole bunch of rides. So we just, did what we can, and we came home. And I just wanted to go back. People make fun of Disney adults, and I don't care. I love being a Disney adult because it's a safe, wonderful, comforting place for me to be. And I know that there's a lot of people out there that feel the same. And it's quite expensive. I don't think it was so much all the time expensive because I wouldn't have gone if it was totally out of price range. It is now. It's very expensive now. So I'm going to tell you some tips and tricks and things like that you can do. So that was 77, I believe, that I went, and then met my husband, who was my boyfriend at the time, and I think 88 or 89, we'd gone to Florida and went to Magic Kingdom, loved it. And in 91, we were married about 6 months at that time, and we went, and also Universal Studios had just opened, so we went there as well with friends of ours and loved it. And then we had our first child, Emily, in 1993. And I was working, and I knew I was working out in the corporate world, and I'm not one of those people. I have ADHD, so I'm going to sidetrack a little bit occasionally. I was working in the corporate world, and a lot of people say, oh, I was working in the corporate world and I hated it. And, I left it and followed my dream and became very creative, as a very creative person, started this. And I was in the corporate world, and I love the corporate world. It was fine. I had a great job, loved the people I worked with, and really planned to return to this job. And had Emily, and a few hours after she was born, we learned that she was born with very complex congenital heart defects, and they couldn't be repaired. And they airlifted her from the hospital that we were at to Toronto's Hospital for Sick Kids. And Emily lived her life in and out of that hospital. And we were told right away that she'd need a series of surgeries and she would need a transplant eventually, maybe in her mid 20s. And the odds are she probably wouldn't live past 27, 28 years old. She could, and then medical miracles and things happen. And so we had all that that was our life. And that was fine. I love my life. And so we ended up, when Emily, because of all this, and Emily, about 1998, she was about to enter school. So we decided, in 1998, she was going to go to school. I'm going to call Make a Wish. And I said to her, what wish would you like? And she said, I want to have dinner with Minnie Mouse. That good enough. So I called them up, and Make a Wish has a very special thing going on in Florida, where they have it all set up. It's wonderful. So you go to they flew us down in 98. June 98 was actually my husband's birthday, and they flew us down, and we went to Kids Village, and that's run by Give Kids the World. It's a charity, and they're very close to Disney and all the theme parks down there. So we got I think 3 days at Disney because we were considered international. We got to stay, I think, 7 nights, six or 7 nights. Where I think if you are domestic in the States, you stay, I think, 1 night short than that. So we stayed the whole week, and I had already planned a lot because I knew. Now we're talking 98, so there wasn't like, we were very early adopters of internet, but there still wasn't a lot of really great information online. It's not like now. So I researched and found out about character meals. So I booked character meals for like almost all of our meals, and we went to Disney World on, I think it was a 3-day hopper. We went to all 4 parks in the 3 days, and Animal Kingdom was, I think, about 6 weeks old at that time. So that was really special. That was fun to see that. So we went, and it was just such a magical trip. I was in the corporate world, loved the corporate world, but when Emily was born, my husband and I right away decided, with her being ill, I'm staying home and I'm going to be a full-time mom. And it was fun. Like, that's, this is our life. We love it. We're doing it. And so in 98, Emily had this wonderful trip to Disney World. We got on, she was about to start, in a few months, start kindergarten. I had lost a lot of weight that year, and was really into fitness. So anyway, I've got ADHD, so I will often go off. So I ended up, on the way back in June 98 on the airplane, just crying. And Emily was crying too. It was such a magical trip. And we decided that we were going to go back. We said, let's go back. And I just picked 18 months. I thought 18 months is a good time to prepare another trip, save some money, even though I wasn't working. I don't know where this money was going to come from, but this is what I had decided. This is what we're going to do. And so we had that to look forward to. Emily started school that September. I started school as well. So when Emily was in school and my husband was home, I went to school and got certified as a fitness instructor at the time. So this timing was amazing, because I thought, I can be a fitness instructor, make money, and save for 18 months, and we'll go to Disney World. So I ended up, I was researching all of the Disney World resorts, because there was like over 20 of them, and there, internet was getting a little bit better. And then we had our son. 18 months later, we had our son. He was born January 2000, and that's when we said, we're going to go. So I had said to Emily, we'll just postpone it a year. We'll go when he's a year. And people say, Well, he's not going to remember, but he doesn't remember, of course, but we experienced it. And it was wonderful because, children live in the moment, as should most of us all live in the moment. And children live in the moment. So we knew he was going to have a great time in the moment, and he did. It was wonderful. And as I was researching this for that, I guess 2001, and in my research, I was looking at when's the best weather month to go to Florida, and my research concluded that April and October were good. Oh, April's nice. We love Easter and the Disney Easter parade when it's on television. Let's go in April. So I booked our first trip as a family. I had all that year to take the 18 months prior research and mold it into a family of four. Emily would be 6 years old when we went, and Evan would be 14, 15 months at the when we would go as a family of four. So I had, in all of my research, I found out that Disney has 3 different levels of resorts and also a campground. So I looked at the value resorts. At the time, the only value resorts were All Stars. So those 3 All Star movie resort, music resort, and sports, All Star Sports. And I'm going to get back to those, but I decided, I was, asking a bunch of travel agents at the time and looking online, and it seemed that a lot of Canadians really liked Disney's Caribbean Beach Resort. And there was various reasons. One thing is because it had a Caribbean theme, that it felt like being in the Caribbean, but you're also in Florida. And it was the first moderate resort that was ever built. So it's a little bigger than the other moderate resorts. And it just seemed that okay, that was what we were going to do. So I went to a travel agent and told her exactly what I wanted. And we got the Disney ticket. Disney had amazing promotions back then. I'm wondering if that was because we'd gone so many years. I'll be mixing up our times and years when we've gone, but we ended up, it was probably like a 2-for-1 ticket, and it wasn't unreasonable because we wouldn't go. I'm working part-time. My husband is in the trades, and so he's supporting the family. Basically, all the money I made as a fitness instructor was just to go for vacations. So now with Evan, because Evan was only 14 months old, he was free on the airplane, free to get into all the parks, and at all the buffets, he was free. And he ate more than Emily because of her heart. She wasn't much of an eater. So we ended up getting quite the good deal. Evan definitely had a good time in the moment. So we, at that time, I'd found Disney, the internet had community boards and forums. This is before Facebook and, social media. So I was on a forum that was about Disney, and they had a Canadian forum as well. So I was on that, and I was finding, researching and finding out all sorts of things. And I got the attention of a travel agent who said, "You sure know a lot about Disney," and told me how to become a Disney or a travel agent in Ontario. You need to get your TICO license and things. So I became a travel agent. So I'm not sure if it was not that first trip. I'd already booked that trip. So I booked a couple of days at the beach because I want to, go to the ocean. So a couple of days at the beach, and then we did a week at the Caribbean Beach Resort with probably 7-day hoppers. I'm a big fan of the 7-day hopper. Fiscally, it just makes a lot of sense, and you can, with a child with a disability, like I said, that I'm not sure if I said in this video or another video, that um, with Emily, where her longevity at a park was very limited. So couple 3 hours depending on how she felt. And now, luckily, we did get what's called now they call it DAS, the Disability Access. It's a card, or it's a you do like a video type of thing with a cast member, and then they put it on the app. But back then, it was just a card, actually, like a paper card. So we got like disability access, which makes your wait shorter a lot of times. So, and we can talk about that. Like I'm retired. We can talk about all sorts of things. So let me know in comments what kind of information you want to know about travel. Like, as a retired travel agent, I can tell you all sorts now. And so we go to Disney, and it was magical. Like, Caribbean, this is before the Riviera resort was there. So where the Riviera is, that's where check-in was in what year did we go? 2001, of course. So it was magic. It was amazing. Booked a lot of character dining again. Evan ate free. He just loved it. The kids loved it. I loved it. We just had a great time. And so I had started to get the ball rolling when we came back, and I said, okay, how we all come to Disney, maybe as a young family. I think a lot of us come to, especially now with it being, I'd say, way more expensive than it was way back in the Wayback Machine. But we go, oh, it's a one-in-a-lifetime trip. Well, a lot of us turn our one-in-a-lifetime trip into annual traditions. And that's basically what we did for about 10 years. It was like we went to Disney World at least once a year. And we went the following year, and the following year we stayed at 11 nights at Coronado. And for our family, that was great, but that taught me that 11 nights in one place, especially what turns out not my favorite resort, I would prefer to split our nights, which the next year we did a split trip. We did the next year we did, I think, 5 nights at Caribbean Beach Resort, and then 4 nights at Port Orleans French Quarter, which ended up turning out to be the favorite resort of both my children and my husband. They just love that resort. And I have favorite resorts, and so does my family, and that was one of them. And then Emily's like, we weren't going to stay in deluxe. We just, like, it was no. Like, we with 7-day hoppers, we're at the park all the time, and or we're swimming or we're relaxing, and we weren't big late nighters type of thing. Like, we'd see all of the nighttime shows, but most of the time we were in bed pretty early. So those early trips, and then we went to, like, we'd go back and do Caribbean Beach again. And at that point, they were starting to build Pop Century. And we'd gone to visit the All-Star Resorts because they have Andy's Room in the movie section. They have Toy Story, and that was a big deal in our house. Like, Toy Story is a big deal. So we'd go visit Andy's Room, and that was nice. And we'd go have a meal in the food court. And I must have 100 of those resort mugs, and I won't throw them away. I should do some art installation with them. So we stayed at all these resorts, and then Emily was getting older. She was a teenager, and Evan was approaching 10, I guess. And in 29 or 20, or Emily started to get really sick again. So turns out she ended up with another disease that's a complication from a surgery, one of her heart surgeries that she has. So that was a whole other deal. So I went to her and I said, okay, let's do let's, what wish. I was like her make a wish. It's what do you want? And that's, and we will do that. She wanted to go to Disneyland, and she wanted to meet, she wanted to go to Disneyland in California, and she was a brilliant writer. And she was very much into a TV show. I'm not going to say it right now. I might do something about it. But she was very much into a TV show. So we ended up going and spending a day on that entire set. And we went to Disneyland, and it was lovely. And that year, we'd gone to Disneyland, Disney World twice. We went to a family wedding in one of the Carolinas. Like it was a big travel year. And then in 2010, so meanwhile, I'm a travel agent. So I was like a part-time travel agent. So I did get the travel deals, and which were tremendously helpful, very good discounts. And I was also, I was teaching fitness, and then I got certified to be a yoga instructor. And then through that, I started teaching art. So I worked these part-time jobs, and that's what paid for art. Plus, with the travel agent's discount, I was, we were very fortunate. We worked hard, but we are very fortunate to be able to go to Disney World very often, like at least once a year. And so, and then in 2010, Emily was 16 and Evan was 10. And we ended up buying a cottage, or it was like a little cabin in the woods off the grid. And we're kind of hippie-ish, and that really worked out for us. And the kids kind of got out of Disney. And I was the one always wanting to go back. But, I have a teenager and a tweenager and a cabin. So, Disney really slowed down. We stopped doing it a lot. And so I started working more and putting money away. And I only worked when the kids were in school or my husband was home at night. I need a sip of water. Okay. So we've since have gone to Disney often again once adults came around. So what I want to say now about this is, and we did say at Pop Century a couple times when Pop Century was first built, and this is before Skyliner, and since the Skyliner, I think we stayed like 5 times. That's right now. I'll tell you what my favorite are. Well, no, let me tell you what Emily's favorite is. In 2010. Okay, you ready? In 2010, it was February. On Tuesday, I got a phone call about Emily's health. And we were told it was the beginning of the end. Things were not going to go well, and they weren't going to get better, no matter what happened. And so that was a Tuesday. And I sat with this information. And I said, Emily, I knew that her favorite resort was the beach club. And I got big swimmers, and so am I. I love the pool. So we decided that, or the Tuesday, we were told how sick she was, and it wasn't getting better. On Thursday, I booked a week at the beach club using my travel agent credentials. And on Saturday, we were at the beach club. Like, it was that fast, and almost lost my job because of it. So what? I was like, no, we're going to have this brilliant Emily trip. And it was a brilliant Emily trip. February's cold, but we were there last January. That was way colder, like just a few months ago, 7 months ago, 6 months ago. So Emily got her dream trip, and it was wonderful. But I thought, I've been to the campground. Emily got her pony ride and things like that. Like, I've been all over. I've been to all of the Disney resorts. stayed at a bunch of them. And my favorite resort right now, looking back, is Pop Century. And that's because um, I love the Skyliner. And Evan's favorite parks are Hollywood Studios and Epcot. So it's like super easy to get to with the Skyliner. And in what we stayed at the Skyline, the first time we stayed at Caribbean Beach Resort, and that was a little Disney magic. I'll tell you about that too. So we ended up, um, we stopped going, we stopped traveling because Emily was really sick. So she got to do her dream Disney vacation. And in 2018, I had said, I will take you anywhere around the world. We will go anywhere because I wouldn't never tell her that I think you're going to die. But she had a lot of mental issues with, of course, depression and anxiety, and she had agoraphobia to a point where big trips around were not a comfortable thing for her. But I said, do you want to go to Paris? I'll bring you to Paris. I'll bring you anywhere you want to go. And she said, is this like my last trip? And it was, but I didn't tell her. I said, no, I'll bring you anywhere you want to go. And of all the places she wanted to go was staying in Canada. And she wanted to visit my sister and my mom who live in Eastern Ontario. So we made a road trip at it, and she wanted a tattoo by a friend of hers in Kingston, and I brought her there, and we went to Ottawa. We went to Old Montreal and things like that. So that was her last trip. She didn't want anything else than to do that. So it was 2018, and in May 2019, she had a heart transplant, and it just never took. She was just getting sicker and sicker and sicker. And January 1st, 2021, in the middle of the pandemic, she died at the hospital, and my husband and I were there with her. And, so it's like New Year's Day, it's kind of like, ugh, like the ickness of that is a thing. So it's been almost 5 years. It's been 4.5 years since she passed, and we honor her all the time. We just, she's not here physically. She was 25 when she had her heart transplant. She was 27 when she died, which to me, one of the saddest things about that is when she was born 27 years earlier than that, we were told that, that's probably what's going to happen based on the current medical information. And in 27 years, nothing improved. Like free healthcare. So in Ontario. So anyway, that was very difficult. But it also gives me experience about traveling with special needs kids. And our son, Evan, who's 25 now, he has favorite things too. He's very high functioning autism. He's working right now. And his favorite resort is the Contemporary Resort. So that's got to be on our list. And we'd gone camping. So we've camped in an RV in the campground. We've been to all the resorts. We stayed at a whole bunch of them. And like I said, my favorite resort is Pop Century. And when I look back, there is a regret. I wish we had started out in the all-star resorts. And the reason being, the very first time that we went as a foursome, Emily was 6, Evan was a little over 1, and I just think that the all-star resorts are brilliant resorts for young families. The icons are huge. The bus system's fine. And if you have a car, like we usually had a car, we rented a car and went all over, because we did more than Disney. We did other things as well. Went to the beach and different places around Orlando and Central Florida. So, getting to places was easy. And we ended up um, never staying there when the kids were little. And I kind of regret that. I wish we had started there because I think we would have had a few really good years there and saved the money, because it's a lot less expensive. And so we, that's where I would have started. I would have to say, though, that one of my favorite resorts, I like the Caribbean Beach Resort. A lot of people say that they don't like it because it's so big, but that's what I do like about it because I like walking. I like walking all over. And I love that it's the hub of the Skyliner. Love the Skyliner. So that's it. We're a little over the half an hour mark. This live stream is about Disney and first timers. And if I were a first time going down with young kids, I would do a week, so 7 nights. I would get probably a 4-day hopper. If I got a 7-day hopper, I would put it in my head that I don't have to use all of those 7 days, but I would do 4 days. I do like hopping. I'd go to, I would do the 4-day hoppers. I would do a lot of the swimming. I would do a lot of the free things to do. So that's visiting Disney Springs, walking around the boardwalk. Um, and now, right as of now, and I don't think it's going to last very long, they when you check into Disney, your very first day is a water park. And again, we're a water family. So the water parks are amazing. I still have one water park day on a ticket that I bought when Disney tickets didn't expire. So you can, like, I bought, okay, I'm going to go off a little bit. I can't remember whatever year, I bought 10-day hopper passes that didn't expire. And it had, I think, 7 days of water parks. So that's 17 days at Disney. That's 7 days of water parks is room, but 17 days at Disney. And so you didn't have to use all your tickets at once. So and it was like really reasonably priced. So like we went the first time, did 3-day hoppers and a couple of days at the water parks. And the next year we went, did just a couple of days. And then there was one year we only did 1 day because we went in July. So we knew we just wanted to do 1 day of park hopping, and the rest of the time was all swimming in water parks. And so it took us years to use up those tickets, and I still have 1 day of a water park left on my ticket. So that's pretty cool. I'll use it one day on a solo ticket. Free dining. Would I do free dining? I wouldn't, because we've done all the dining things. And now what I do, I order groceries in, and we barely eat out at Disney because we've done it all. And we meal share. Disney adults can order off the kids menu. So we'll do things like that. But I rather, we don't eat a lot of processed food. So I order food like all, veggies and things. Well, when we drive down now, because we're retired. So we drive down there twice a year since my husband retired. And we just buy groceries most of the time. So that's my advice. If you're going with a young family, don't be afraid of the All-Star Sports or All-Star Sports movie and the music resorts. Go there, give them a shot. But when you got a young family, you're not, you're gonna miss stuff. You will. There's gonna be bad weather days. I will make a video about how we were at Disney's campground in an RV in Hurricane Ian. So that was, yeah. So thank you for watching. I'm retired, so I'm wearing my favorite retired dress that I wear in Florida. And yeah, like, subscribe, and tell me what you want to talk about, all things Disney, if you like, or travel. I'm going to turn this off now. Thank you for paying attention for this long, and chat soon. Alrighty.